Hey everyone, today's video is going to be another weekly food shop. Now I know it's not been too long since I last uploaded one of these, but I realised that when I film these videos I pretty much always film my online deliveries, which tend to be a lot bigger. I get online deliveries every 4 to 6 weeks, I would say, and I stock up on quite a few dry bits, quite a few heavy items, and they're just kind of bigger than my normal weekly shops, I guess. So I thought it'd be interesting to film like a regular weekly shop for you guys as well. Obviously I still have some things in my cupboards from my last kind of online shop. I also still have some fridge bits in, so this is just stocking up on the bits that I needed this week. Everything came to less than £20 and I've got kind of all my meals sorted for the next 7 days or so. So I figured I would share with you guys what I picked up. Pretty much everything is from Asda, but I did pick up a few items from Morrisons as well, so I will show those to you guys first. The first one being the thing that I'm probably most excited about in this whole shop, and that is some vegan jam donuts. These are 50p. You do get 5 in here. I have already eaten one. I only picked up this shop this morning and I just literally couldn't wait to film this video, so have eaten one, can confirm it was delicious. These just happened to be accidentally vegan. I tried the gingerbread ones at Christmas from Morrisons and I loved them. So while I was in Morrisons again, I thought I would pick up some more as a little treat this week. So just got some jam donuts to snack on. The next thing that I got from Morrisons is some onion gravy granules. I feel like I've got a very eclectic mix from Morrisons. I just picked up a few bits I either couldn't pick up in Asda or that were cheaper in Morrisons. But yeah, I got some onion gravy granules for 59p. Pretty standard. I'm running low on gravy. This is literally like the cheapest one they do. I don't tend to be too fussy. I've had Bisto, I've also had like all of the supermarket own brands, and to be honest I can't really tell a difference, so I'm going to give this one a go. I got some peppermint tea for 69p and this is 40 bags. Again, this was just slightly cheaper in Morrisons than it was in Asda, so I figured I might as well get it while I was there. I drink peppermint tea all of the time. I've definitely been drinking it a lot more recently. If I'm cold, I literally just can't deal with cold water. I obviously want to be drinking something, and just standard tea I don't think is that hydrating, so I'm a big fan of peppermint. That is like my go-to like herbal or fruit tea, I guess, and I ran out, so I just grabbed some more of these. I got some cauldron tofu for £1.50. This was on offer. Now this is not a normal purchase for me. I can't actually remember the last time I would have picked up tofu. I feel like it's like a classic stereotypical vegan thing to buy. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like the biggest tofu fan ever. I mean, I feel like when other people make it, it tends to taste a lot nicer than when I make anything with it. But I mentioned in a recent video, I think it was my recent taste test of the Tesco egg sandwich, that I had previously made like a vegan egg mayo in the past using tofu and some black salt. And mentioning that just made me fancy it, so I figured I would pick some of this up. And I've also ordered some black salt online. It was literally like £1.50 I think for like a little sachet. So this week for lunches I figured I would make some egg mayo and have that probably in some wraps. And then the final thing that I picked up in Morrisons are these smoky bits. These were £2. I've had these in the past, and when I first tried them I wasn't really the biggest fan. I much preferred like the Vivera bacon pieces. They have like a different taste, a lot more of a smoky taste than these ones do, I find. I've been eating these a lot more recently. I had like a few left in the bag in my freezer, so I finished them up on some bacon Brussels sprouts, and I just decided that I really love them, so I wanted to pick up some more of these. The other day I actually made like a full sausage and mash dinner with bacon Brussels sprouts, and after I ate my whole plate, I plated up a second one to put in the fridge for my dinner the next day, like a full plate with all of the components. And as I was sat there, I was like, I really fancy some more of those bacon Brussels sprouts, and I just couldn't stop thinking about them. And then I thought, well, if I eat those off that plate, then the plate is not complete and I'm gonna have to make something tomorrow anyway, like to add to the dish. So I ended up eating the whole second dinner just because I fancied this bacon. So I feel like that speaks for how good it is. I don't know why I wasn't such a fan at first, but I'm really into this at the moment. And then moving on to the bits that I picked up in Asda, I mentioned how for lunch this week I want to have some egg mayo wraps. So I picked up this fajita kit, which comes with 8 wraps, some salsa and some seasoning as well. This was £1.30. I was originally just going to buy some wraps, and then I thought, well, I actually also need some fajita seasoning, and my favourite fajita seasoning is the smoky barbecue flavour, and to buy that by itself it's literally £1. So I was like, I'm just going to get this have the wraps from this throughout the week, it means I have the fajita seasoning and I also get some salsa, so it works out a much better deal. And this is the smoky barbecue flavour, so win-win all round I feel like with this. So I'm going to use some of these wraps, like I said, for lunches, and then I'm also going to have some fajitas this week as well. I then picked up some chocolate shreddies for £2. I have not had cereal for weeks. I think the last cereal that I had would have been the mince pie shredded wheat that I picked up at Christmas. So it's been a good couple of months and I just decided I really fancied some. I won't really be having this for breakfast because I'm not really hungry in the morning, but I feel like cereal is such a good snack or such a good dessert. When I'm just fancying something a little bit sweet, I feel like this is what I'm going to reach for. So I picked up some of these. They are vegan. Also, I very much appreciate how they've made the box smaller. You still get the same amount in here, but they've like condensed it down, which I'm a big fan of because it's always so annoying when cereal boxes are so unnecessarily big and then you can't even fit them in the cupboard. So not complaining, I am going to be snacking on these this week. I then got some tortilla chips. Now these were 41p. I love tortilla chips. I will normally have these either as a snack or if I have any sort of Mexican meal, I'll have some of these on the side. I feel like they're really nice at just giving any dish a little bit of crunch. I did have pretty much a full bag of these. In fact, I think I had a full bag of these before I went to my mum's, which I took with me, and they got eaten very quickly. So I've stocked up on some more of these. When I have fajitas this week, I am definitely going to be having a few tortilla chips with them. I do currently have some vegan cheese in the fridge left over as well. So I'm thinking I might do a little nachos scenario potentially. I feel like I could eat nachos for every day of the week and be happy. So I'm sure these are not going to last very long. And then I think pretty much everything else that I picked up is fruit and veg. So normally with these weekly shops, that is like the main things that I buy because a lot of the cupboard items I pick up on my online deliveries. So I still have lots of like cans of things in the cupboards. I have like lots of soy milk, pasta, rice, all of the kind of staples I still have in. I've got a few bits in my freezer as well to last me this week. So the main thing that I normally have to get on like a weekly basis is like fresh fruit and veg. I did pick up one frozen veg item, and that is these green beans. These were 63p, which seems really reasonable. That seems like a really good price for how much you get in this. But I love green beans. They're like my favourite vegetable, I think. And I went to get some of these last week and they didn't have any, so I picked up some Brussels sprouts, which is just like a weird thing. Like I'm on a real Brussels sprouts hype at the moment and I don't know why. So I have some of those in the freezer and I thought I would get green beans for when I fancy them. My favourite way to have these is with a little bit of olive oil and garlic and chili flakes, and they are so good. I would happily have that as a side for like any dinner that I'm making, so stocked up on some of those. And then fresh fruit and veg wise, I got a lemon and a lime for 30p each. These will be used in drinks pretty much. If I have any sort of Mexican food, I'll tend to squeeze some lime on that as well. But I just like to have these in. I feel like as soon as I don't have them in, I need them. So the other day when it was pancake day, I went to make myself a lemon and sugar pancake and I didn't have a lemon in, and I was like, this is probably like the one time I haven't put a lemon in my shop and I actually wanted one. So I was very disappointed. I ended up pouring orange juice from a carton on my pancake and had like an orange and sugar pancake, which definitely wasn't quite the same, so I grabbed a couple of those. I got a bag of satsumas for 89p, and then I also got a bag of apples for 59p. These are like the cheap Asda brand, so they're very tiny apples, but to be fair, I just get these to snack on, so they're probably like a good snacking size. Always like to have these in the fridge for when I'm hungry, normally in like the afternoon. I feel like my morning snack tends to be chocolate Bourneville fingers, which I'm just so unbelievably addicted to. It's become a problem. I didn't pick up any this week because I still have, I think, 2 packets in the cupboard to hopefully last me. That tends to be my morning snack with my cup of tea, and then after lunch is when I tend to fancy fruit. So grabbed some apples and oranges this week. I also grabbed some grapes to snack on as well. These are 99p. Something about grapes feel like such a treat in comparison to apples and oranges, when in reality they're like the same sort of price range. I don't know why I see these as such like a luxury fruit item, but I'm excited that I've got these to snack on. I will probably go through these by the end of this weekend because grapes definitely don't last very long in my house. And then vegetable wise, I got some cherry tomatoes for 49p. These I pretty much get every single week. I feel like I have tomato garlic pasta on a weekly basis at the moment, so I'm always stocking up on these, and if I don't have them in pasta, I'll have them in salads, so got a bag of those. I got a thing of mushrooms for £1. You get 400 grams in here. I will have these either as like cooked mushrooms on toast or anything like along those sorts of lines, or the thing that I think I'm going to use these in this week is a pie. I showed it in my what I eat in a day video, the kind of soya chunk and mushroom pie. I've got some pastry left over in the freezer and I've got more of those soya chunks to use, so I think I might make that again this week. I got some red onions for 49p. There are a lot of onions in this bag, so this will last me a while. I feel like onions don't go off very quickly. I'm pretty sure there's like a guy on TikTok with an onion farm and the onions are like really old before we even buy them. I don't know if I've made that up, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know. But I just picked up some red onions. I'll put these in most things I cook, especially when I make fajitas. I'll chop up some onion in those along with some peppers. Speaking of peppers, I got a bag of these for £1.35. I feel like when I get this mixed bag, I'm always trying to find the one with the least green peppers in. Green peppers are literally the devil. I don't understand how they can taste so gross in comparison to like red, orange, yellow, literally any other colour pepper. So I think I did okay with this bag. I've got 3 green peppers in here. Pretty much the only way I can eat green peppers is in fajitas, so that is where they'll be going. But peppers are like my favourite vegetable, so I go through these pretty quickly. I got a cucumber for 43p. This again I'll probably use in salads, and when I make those egg mayo wraps I'll put some cucumber in those as well. And then finally I picked up a bag of spinach for £1.19. This feels like a hefty bag. It's 300 grams. I try and put this in pretty much every meal I make, even if it doesn't make sense to have spinach with it. I feel like you can squeeze spinach in most of the time for just like a little bit of extra health. So I'll try and get through this before it goes gross, because gross spinach is not the one. Honestly, I feel like spinach turns so quickly. It's like avocados, where one minute it looks okay and then the next minute when you're taking it out of the bag it's so gross and slimy. So hopefully I'll use this up fairly quickly. But that is everything I picked up this week. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I get on more of like a weekly basis. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go eat another one of those Morrisons donuts and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.